Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to
Ranger Danger.
Go, go, Ranger Danger! Go, go, Ranger Danger! Go, go, Ranger Danger! Matt and Michael's Ranger Danger!
Welcome once again to Mighty Morphin Ranger Danger, the podcast where we watch an episode of Power Rangers and then talk about it, which is exactly what we're going to do today. A little different for us today, though, because if you're listening to our last bonus episode, we wrote an episode based on the Zayu 2 footage and then sort of recorded that. Today, we're going to be watching what the American Power Rangers staff wrote and produced and shot using that footage. So we'll be able to see what choices they made, how they did it, and sort of compare it to what we did. Today we have everyone who just recorded that guest episode back on the show.
We're going to go through names. We've got Jeremy, Sarah, Michael, Daniel, Lauren, Tim, Amanda, Paisley, myself. I'm also Michael, and Matt.
That's right, I'm always here.
Yep, it's a nice big one.
It is a big one, so I'm excited to see what they did. How about you, Michael?
So if you didn't hear the last episode that we recorded, it should be the episode immediately before this. It's a bonus episode. It's called Chimp Change.
Yes. We're going to be watching their version, which is called The Wannabe Ranger.
Episode 64.
Yep. Don't want to start throwing stones already. That's definitely a worse title than Chimp Change.
It is. I think we need to say now, Timothy came up with a better name for the monster than Reflectorella.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I didn't want to show you guys up, but it did happen.
Chimposter is definitely a better name, and we are eternally shamed, and maybe Tim could write the next episode.
Yeah, I think that has to be what happens, yeah.
And you were really close to hitting Chimposter as well in your brainstorm. Which
What
is
did you have? 8 pasta?
Yeah. So close.
And
yet so very far. All right, do we have anything we want to talk about before we do the episode today, Michael?
Did anyone want to talk about having recorded that? What was that like for you guys?
Nerve-wracking.
I think for anyone performing, it's always going to be a little... Especially, most of us aren't trained performers.
Yeah.
Some of us have more experience than others, but...
Some of us have done 64 episodes of this nonsense.
That's true. Yeah, it was a good time. It came together quite well, I thought.
Yeah, we haven't... Obviously, we've just finished recording it, so we haven't heard, like, the finished cut, but I think it's going to come together pretty nicely.
Yeah.
And the tension builds, like at the beginning you thought, what is this? But you're really stringed along with it. Like
You get into it as well, I think.
Yeah.
Like, when you're shouting Dragonzord, your blood starts pumping.
Hearing everybody in the room shout Power Rangers in unison is pretty amazing.
Yeah, and trying to sync the same lines up. Like, the first time we did it, struggled.
Yeah.
But throughout, there was just this hive mind mentality. We were just nailing it.
Yeah.
All new, I think,
Yeah, we definitely found like a group cadence. So when those group lines came together, we're hitting them every beat. So
Yeah, it was pretty good.
pretty good. I was pretty happy with the episode that we wrote, Michael.
Yeah, did you have any, writing it wasn't tough.
It was.
It's surprisingly, harder than you expect.
It is tough. I think, and you did more of this than me, so you can speak to it a bit more, but trying to come up with lines to the Japanese footage, extremely hard. Because you're left with shots where the individual rangers are just posing and they have to say something. When in real situation, people don't just stand there and pose and say lines into the air. So coming up with something that sounds authentic in that situation is difficult.
I think if we'd been willing to cheat it, we could have cut some of that out. And I don't think that would have been inauthentic to how the Americans used the Japanese footage. But I think it would have felt kind of like cheating.
Yeah, we wanted to do this and make it as challenging as it would have been for the staff.
Yeah.
And find the upper limit of that so we're not skimping out on anything.
Yeah.
And it was challenging. It was hard. So it does give me some respect for the guys that had to come up with some of this
The
stuff.
hardest part is looking at a giant albino monkey and going, right, so what's the problem going on in their personal lives that gets us to the giant albino monkey?
But I think... if we can talk ourselves up a little bit, I was pretty happy with where we got to with that.
Yeah.
We're able to find a personal problem for the Rangers that sort of was reflected, no pun intended, in the monster bit. But also, I think we showed that we can address the ongoing story of the Rangers, in this case, the Tommy and Kimberley stuff.
Yep.
But we don't have to do it in a way that the show can't handle. It was all okay for 5-year-olds. It left the show as we found it, we didn't break anything.
Yep.
But we were still able to provide some sort of resolution to these ongoing things that...
I think the only thing we didn't tackle from the kind of ongoing plots of the show is that Bulk and Skull at the moment have this ongoing mission to uncover the identity of the Power Rangers.
That's right. And we didn't realise when we started, because we started this a little while ago.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's a few little bits and pieces like that
Kind of, yeah, we had to write Lord Zed in the last couple of weeks because we only met him a couple of weeks ago.
That's right. So, yeah, we haven't got a feel for some of the characters we were using, but... For the other ones, I think we hit their voices pretty well as well.
Look, I'd like to thank everyone. I think everyone did a phenomenal job. I think we're going to be asking Matt to do Goldar a lot more.
I wanted to draw attention to authentic, especially because Jeremy came dressed as Jason. I feel like he deserves extra points for actually...
Definitely.
None of the other Rangers, we didn't do that. We dropped
None of you
them.
even got the right colour.
Yeah, no. Mostly wearing red, actually.
Yeah. We discussed this. We would have dressed up if
there was like a call for it, we would have risen to the occasion.
Okay, well, next time I'll make sure
Thank
that
you.
I put that in the Facebook event.
Maybe you should.
Please dress up. Is there anything else, Matt?
I don't think so. We've got some emails, but we'll get to those next week,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
For this week, we're going to jump straight in, watch the 1V Ranger, and...
Do you think there's going to be a line that we both share?
Definitely. I think...
And I don't mean like summoning the Thunderzord, I mean like...
No. I think having to run through a list of monkey puns... We definitely had some monkey pun crossover with the writers.
Yeah, sure.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah, there's going to be a finite amount of monkey puns.
Oh, trust me, there is.
I'm going to ask someone to follow along with the script and just keep an eye out for that one bit. I mean, outside of those battles, though, I'm really looking forward to see how they generate the albino monkey monster.
Yeah.
And, like, what the plot is.
Wouldn't it be creepy if it was, like, identical?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if it's, like, exactly... You'd be really scared of how your minds have been warped by the show if it is identical
That's
or very close.
Definitely a legitimate concern.
I'm always kind of worried about that. I started saying hella rad a lot more since watching the show, and I'm worried that that's the show. So, yeah, we'll see. Who do you think it's going to centre on? Anyone want to make a guess?
I'm having trouble seeing beyond our script, because I'm like, of course it's Kimberley, but there's nothing in the footage that we use that suggests that.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw it up Billy.
You think it's a Billy episode?
Yeah, I'll say I'll hedge it back. It's a Billy episode.
The mirror, right?
That's right,
Yeah.
he does have the mirror.
that's
Look at it,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry, spoilers.
No, they've already heard our episode. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if they've listened to the episode.
And you'd better have, because it was great.
All 5 of you.
Do you have
Sorry.
any idea what the monster's going to be called?
I can't remember. I think we
I
did
would
check
love
that.
if it's Chimposta.
If it's Chimposta, you guys got wrecked.
I will tell you that I did read it at some point, and it's not Chimposta. Although that would explain why we didn't use Chimposta if it was already used.
Yeah, I wish we could have that as an excuse.
Yeah, no, it's not that.
We just failed.
Just go back in
If it is
time
the case-
now and change the original episode to Chimposta. And
If it is the case, though, Tim, pack your bags. You go into America to ride for Power Rangers. Just
That's the dream.
yeah.
What about ape shifter? Ape.
That's
God fucking damn it!
twice now.
That's so good!
Ape shifter. How does it feel?
I'm ashamed!
Yeah, we've brought shame and dishonour upon our families.
Alright, well, I guess next time we've got to all write this script.
Yeah, I think next
At
time we
least
write
ask
it through.
around, like, jeez.
Yeah, like when it comes to naming something.
Yeah, I think next time we go find a whiteboard, we sit in a room for 2 hours, bang out a script, make it happen.
I'm just...
We've clearly got some talent here we're not tapping into when it comes to monkey names.
Alright, so let's go watch the Wannabe Ranger.
Yep.
And I guess we'll be back in a sec.
See you soon, guys.
Yay.
And we're back. That was the Wannabe Ranger. Had some highs, but I think overall it was a bit of a mess. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, definitely.
That was definitely the sound of unison. Oh, yeah.
Do we want to go from the top?
Why not?
Alright, so there's a basketball game.
Yep.
Tommy does a slam dunk.
Yep.
All of a sudden, everyone's dunking. Billy does like a backflip slam dunk.
It just seems A, excessive, and B, kind of dangerous.
Also, is Billy like the one of the group that would be most likely to do a backflip?
Yeah.
Like, I questioned the
Yeah,
authenticity of that.
show-offy nerd.
The show
Yeah.
drastically
Okay.
changes like how capable
What
Billy
Billy
is.
is.
Yeah. Oh.
Like sometimes in a fight he'll like run away and hide, and sometimes he'll just kill 3 dudes without paying any attention.
So he's just really erratic.
Yeah.
I'm still playing up my serial killer thing then. That sounds very serial killery.
Sure.
Sure.
So Kimberly's about to have a go when all of a sudden a giant white monkey grabs her by the shoulders.
Doesn't take him long, does it?
It's Zach in a white monkey costume. He was performing at his cousin's birthday party.
Now, what kind of child would like that at their party?
I was terrified. I hate people dressed in animal suits.
It's a terrible suit too. Like
Yeah.
no one's gonna think that's a monkey.
Yeah,
But
look.
of all, first of all, of all the characters you could pick at your party, you pick a giant white monkey, and second of all, you pick a character like someone dressed in a costume to be at your party. I don't know, they're just creepy. They're weird.
I think there's going to be a lot of references to the episode that we wrote.
Yeah,
But
I think we have to compare them.
I want to. I just want to say I want a spin-off of Amanda going around and like critiquing children's birthday parties based on how good or how creepy. It's like, I don't know, that fairy has a weird expression on her face. I'm going to give it like a 6 out of 10 in terms of creepy scale.
This is Mighty Morphin birthday party.
Yeah, like dead sad. I'm going to be amazing.
So yeah, I think it's totally cheating to have the thing that they turn into the giant monkey to be a giant monkey suit, right? That's just lazy. Yes.
But it
Yes.
has to be a white monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're kind of limited.
What can
Like,
you do?
tell me a
Yeah.
third option if it's not their choice or your choice.
An actual white monkey.
Yeah.
No, because then they make it explode. Mind you, it was a fish last time.
Yeah, it
They
was a
did
real
shit.
fish. Yeah.
Damn.
Which is why I've been wondering about how sentient and how alive all of these monsters are.
I feel like also if it was a real white monkey, that would just blow their budget out. Like having to hire the monkey, like getting
Yeah,
someone like a
animal
monkey,
handler.
an animal. Like, I just feel like that would not be
Like,
feasible.
Just sneak cameras into the zoo.
I just think that Zach's never going to get that deposit back from wherever he had it. That's just not happening.
Can I also just say I'm so disappointed that we did not have Zach in the white monkey suit shooting hoops. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take the suit off to shoot hoops," and it's like, what? Come on, leave the
Could
suit
have
on.
overheated.
I like
Yeah,
how
okay.
he was wearing a hoodie underneath the
Didn't notice
yeah.
that.
I mean, if he'd been naked, that would have been really weird.
Well,
Stripped off.
there was a world of clothes between naked and hoodie.
That's fair. Yeah, look, it's a weird choice, but like, you know, it's not an unexpected choice, I guess.
I just think that when you're trying to force an albino monkey in, any choice is going to come across as an odd one.
That's probably fair.
Monkey suit works, but like you can work a monkey suit into the plot better than child's
Sure.
birthday.
Although
party
it
that you
does
don't
set up,
see.
it does set up Zach playing tricks for later on.
Yeah, kind of.
maybe.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense that Billy's the first person he turns into. If we're
It's
going
pretty-
down that line.
Well, yeah, I get, but Billy is nasty to Alpha. Like he plays Zach plays the tricks on the Power Rangers. So maybe
Yeah,
that.
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. So Zach leaves the suit behind because Zordon calls them all away.
Yeah. They teleport
Never
away,
get that deposit
and
back.
the ball just bounces away.
Yes, I love the
They-
air pass. Just passes the ball away.
They couldn't take the second to rest the ball on the ground.
Take it with them.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Just I don't know.
Yeah, basketballs are
Alpha's
not
got
cheap.
nothing to do.
Yeah.
Play soccer.
Yeah, exactly.
So Zordon's got something to tell them, and I made sure to write this down because it is amazing. Due to a galactic imbalance caused by the linear alignment of the planets in your solar system, Zordon is about to temporarily de-ionize. For all of you playing at home, we don't know what that means either. It basically means that he's going to go to fuzzy static and then disappear.
For a few minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not long. It's like half an hour at most.
Yeah. But apparently Lord Zed knows what the deal
Yeah,
is.
Lord
though.
Zed's
Yeah.
up on the temporary
Well, if
de-ionization.
it's planetary alignment, it's something like he too could be aware of.
Yeah, he's on the move.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it doesn't not make sense. It's just
His plans are so much better than Rita's.
And he is terrifying.
He is scary
Like, I would
as
prefer
fuck.
Daniel voicing Lord Zed because I think I'm going to have nightmares tonight of the real Lord Zed.
I don't know. I reckon he'd be pretty easy to take. His brain's all exposed.
He's
Yeah.
very skinless.
Yeah.
scary person around here. Like his brain's exposed, grab a knife, jab it in there, he's
Yeah.
down.
I mean, they
Yeah,
do have, like, one of them does carry an axe. Climax.
All of them carry bladed weapons with guns on. Like,
Stab him in the brain. Done.
Yeah.
So Alpha's left to look after the command center for like the half an hour that Zordon's going to be away.
Just quickly, I enjoy the panic that goes through all the Power Rangers when they hear that he's going offline for half an hour.
You know, we just got to turn him off and turn him on again. Got to reboot.
Reboot. He doesn't say half an hour. He's like,
Well,
I'm
This
just.
just takes half
I know,
an hour.
but that's what I mean. Like, you never know with Zordon. He could be gone for like a week or something.
It would be helpful if you gave him more info.
Like a timeline. He's like, it'll take like 18 minutes, so it's okay, nothing to worry about. It's just a simple reboot, guys.
And even if Lord Zed does know what's going on, the worst that could happen is he sends down a giant monkey. He's not very clever. You guys are in no danger. Don't worry about it.
So Alpha's going to be left in charge of the command center, and the Power Rangers. Zordon like really explicitly says, "No, you guys fuck off, and Alpha can stay here." Like for no particular reason.
Particularly how long he's gone. Like, given that it is max half an hour, it could just be hang here for a second, just
in case.
Just in case.
Off
Yeah.
chance, even one of you, like.
Well, yeah, they could have split up. Yeah.
No, they just all go back to Angel Grove, and Alpha kind of moans just to himself about being left alone. It's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad.
This is an Alpha-centric episode.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing that coming.
Yep.
It is like that part of the episode I don't mind. I mean, although the way it's executed is super
No,
rough.
it's terrible, yeah.
But like, I like the fact that they thought to give him a bit more. To
Yeah. All right. So, the monster is called Primator.
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, look, we've got 3 better names for it.
Yeah. Easy.
You know, yeah.
So Lord Zed makes that out of the monkey suit that Zack has just discarded and left on the street.
Yeah.
I feel like Zordon needs to have words with these guys now that this is what Lord Zed is doing. Be like, listen, you've got to stop leaving shit that would make a scary monster.
Just stop littering. I think there's a good lesson here.
Right?
Don't just throw balls away. Pick up your monkey suits.
Take
Be
your stuff home
adults.
with you. Like,
Be adults of that.
What's interesting is Lord Zed says, like, I know the perfect body for it to go into.
Yeah, that's
Which
gross.
implies that, like,
Wow.
he's got the monsters prepared.
Yeah.
And he just, like, he
Needs
was
it
waiting
close
for a
towards
monkey
so it's like a
thing
he's,
to
So
appear.
they do have souls.
so
Yeah,
like, he's
that
got
kinda
monster
sounds what it sounds
souls.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have skins.
Oh.
Like him.
Like him. Yeah, I guess maybe they're all
Maybe
like.
they're his brother. They're
It's
like
messed up.
his family.
The skinless overlord of skinless minions.
Skinless Minions is fun to say.
That's a good band name, I think. That's down.
They're a good punk band.
So yeah, look, the suit becomes Primator, and every time he changes, he's got this like fuzzy
stop
effect.
motion animation where it's just cotton wool that's like, jazzed up. every
They've
single
clearly
time.
just figured out stop motion,
Yeah.
haven't
It's
they?
kind of
With
cool,
the
though.
Z
I kind of
putties.
like it's more effort.
It's one of those things where practical effects, even cheap ones, seem to look a lot better than like bad
3D,
CGI.
Yeah.
you know?
All right,
Like
so
that hand grenade is
It's
just
incredible.
Yeah.
It is 2 polygons. Like, you've got the ball and the bit on top.
that's not what a
exciting.
polygon is, but okay.
I feel like that was like the draft version. Like they were like, oh, we'll make it look cooler later, and they
you've
just
seen
forgot.
this show, right?
Okay, cool.
So Alpha's up in the command center on his own, and he sees a child calling out for his mummy running through the park. So Alpha doesn't need the Power Rangers to rescue a little boy. He's going to go down and do it himself. Good on you, Alpha.
Yeah.
Nice thought. Maybe now
Although-
is not the time.
Everyone gets on his case about it at the end of the episode, so...
I
He
mean,
was meant to stay put.
yeah, it's like the one half an hour that he can't go do that.
Yeah.
Has he ever done that before? Has he ever?
He's left the command center
transported-
once before to win a costume contest.
And get loads of chicks, I believe.
I love his priorities. It's like costume contest, loads of
Charlie-
chick, small
Charlie-
child.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, that seems like a stand-up guy.
I think so.
Those are my priorities. So Alpha says, "Pasta la pizza, baby." And
Does he? I thought he said
missed that.
hasta la vista.
No, he
No,
says
that's
pasta
the
la pizza.
he calls
Good on him.
himself Alpha Ranger
Yeah.
and
That's so
teleports down.
cute. Upper range.
He's the dorkiest person amongst a group of very dorky people.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
I'm so sorry.
So the kid is called Dylan, and
I swear to God, Dylan's coming back because he got a lot of screen time.
Yeah, emotional.
Yeah.
It was. Yep. He was
Matt
the
and
key
I
of it.
have discussed on multiple occasions. It's weird that, like, after this first couple of seasons, there's never Power Rangers who, like, have met the Power Rangers before or, like,
Or
are
who
related to
seem to have
previous
mentioned
Power
them.
Rangers. Or it's late enough now that you could conceivably have a Power
Of course you
Ranger
could.
who's the child of one of the
Power
early
Rangers.
sets of Power Rangers.
Or at least like a younger sibling or
Yeah, I mean,
a
it's-
cousin
yeah,
or
it's-
anything.
It's
Yeah.
not
Angel Grove cannot be
impossible.
that big.
And although, you know, many show series are no longer set in Angel Grove,
No.
it's just, it's weird that they've never gone to that well for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jason
they
David
had-
Frank has a son that is in his late teens. I know this because his son runs his dad's like fan page on Facebook.
Oh,
And it's adorable.
That's great.
But yeah, so like that could definitely happen.
It doesn't matter if that kid can't act. No one on the
No,
show
it
can
doesn't
act.
matter.
Like, that's not one of
He'll
the
fit right
criteria.
in.
So,
Maybe what they want to do is like portray the idea that anyone could be a Power Ranger. So they don't want to make it like a family.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
does make
exactly.
sense to me.
except that, like, a lot of Power Rangers are like Dogman from Space, or Space Traffic Policeman, or
Or ex Queen of Evil.
literal glowing ball of light. There's been 150 Power Rangers. Some of them have been weird.
Okay, wow.
I just think one out of all of them
Yeah.
would just be
But even though that is much easier to explain to little kids than this was Red Ranger version 2's son, you know?
I guess.
That's true. This is Greg. He's a glowing ball of light. Okay, cool. So where are the Zords? Let's go. Come on.
Oh, his Zord is just the sun.
Oh, sweet.
What?
That would be
That's
great.
OP for sure.
Okay, so the kid's called Dylan.
Yeah.
And he says to Alpha, "Want to play soccer?" To which Alpha responds, "Sock who?"
Hey.
I don't think that's even a pun. I don't know.
But it was delivered like a pun, so.
Before
No, he's
that,
like sock her.
yeah.
Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, like hit her.
Ooh.
Before that, though, he says that he seems Alpha 5 Command Center prototype, which is a very specific model. Like, he's the first go at a robot
Yeah, and they
built for the
stopped at
Command
that
Center.
point as well. They went,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck it, this is fine." Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
If
Job
that's the
done.
first
That's
version,
right.
why is he Alpha 5? Like,
No, because there could have been 4 previous Alpha robots. And
that
he's
have
the
nothing to do with the
and he's
Command
the
Center.
Command Center prototype.
Okay.
We know that he was built on another planet
Called Edenoid.
called Edenoi, and there is later an Alpha 6.
Yeah. And
So-
I believe in Alpha 7.
Really?
Oh.
I think so.
I don't think that's right.
I'm going to look that up while you keep talking, because I'm
Alright.
pretty sure that's right.
So somewhere
yeah.
along those Alpha 6. What?
Yeah, there's an Alpha 6. But yeah, it's strange to me that there would be a prototype model that when he looks pretty done. He doesn't look like a prototype to me, except for his strange faux American affectations, I guess.
And
Maybe that's why he's the prototype.
Yeah.
the inability to switch off some certain protocols that blows him up.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Oh, that is bizarre. So on the moon now, we've got Lord Zed. He's realised that the planets are in alignment and Zoran's going to be away for 15 minutes. And
Sorry, Alpha 7 appears in Forever Red.
oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I stand corrected. I apologise.
It's Alpha 5's head on Alpha 6's body.
What? That's not surely that's Alpha 11.
God, this show is fucked.
I will say, like, Alpha 6 looks very much like Alpha 5. It's not like Alpha 6 is like a giant muscular dude, and then the Alpha 7 is just this head on top of that.
That's so weird. 'Cause I'm pretty sure Alpha 6 comes back for Once a Ranger. So
Yeah, look, it's confusing. I don't know that it's explicitly in canon Alpha 5's head on Alpha 6's body.
Right.
I think it's just made of Alpha 5's head on Alpha 6's body.
okay.
Okay, so Lord Zed on the moon.
Yep. He's gonna take advantage of the situation by setting down Primator,
Yep,
and he sends it to the park. He immediately turns into Billy,
yep.
which would be a cool plan. It never amounts to anything at all.
Except being mean to Alpha.
Yeah, he's been to Alpha for a little bit, but then sees his own reflection and has to transform back.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where I really admire the creativity in some of these scripts, but it also really frustrates me when they have these bits that just don't go anywhere. Like, there's no reason for him to turn into Billy and intimidate Alpha that doesn't pay off at any point in any way.
I'd like to. There's a line when fake Billy discovers Alpha. Alpha says, "Busted," and fake Billy says, "And disgusted."
Yeah.
And calls him, oh, sorry.
You are a naughty little boy, aren't you?
That's a weird line.
It went some really creepy places there.
And it's a shame, too, because David Yost doing evil
Really good.
does a pretty good job of being sinister and evil.
Yeah.
He was quite creepy.
Walter Jones, later in the episode, also plays it really well.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they tried to do everyone, but then they were like, no, these are our creepiest.
These
Like,
guys are
everyone
the
else
guys.
couldn't pull off the creepy because they did it so well.
Yeah.
I think the show generally agrees that David Yost and Amy Jo Johnson are its best actors. But, you know...
Until Johnny Young Bosch later.
Oh, until, like,
Yeah.
later people who can actually act, sure. So, God, what happens next? Primate tries to kidnap Dylan. That doesn't work. He tries to kidnap Alpha. Alpha enables his self-destruct protocol.
Heavy.
If I go down, you go down with me.
But wait,
Which
10
would-
minutes?
Yeah,
just hang around.
In 10.
Yeah.
The problem with that plan is that, he doesn't explode for 10 minutes.
But he's doing it so he can't be kidnapped and then led to the command
command
center. So he's trying to block off their way to the command center. That makes
That's
sense.
solid but very drastic.
Yeah. I think he could have gone through some other plans.
But you'd think once Reflectorella scampers off, he'd turn off the self-destruct.
No, he can't do that.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense that he doesn't have
Because
a...
otherwise he could be tortured into doing that.
Whoa.
That's all that was
dark.
I mean, that's fair. That's a fair point.
I feel like if we're applying that sort of logic to it, though, we should remember that it wasn't that long ago that Alpha had, electric shock beams that shot out of his head as a defense mechanism. That he could have used
Or
at that point.
even if he had the ability to lift his foot and then stand on Reflectorilla's foot,
Yep.
like Dylan did,
Yep.
and then run away,
Yeah.
that would have been fun.
He can't match the 5-year-old's level of...
Dylan really put up a fight. That kid was
That
impressive.
kid learned about stranger danger.
Yeah.
Can Alpha 5 feel pain, though?
Nah, robot.
Yeah,
No, I
so
don't
he
think-
can't be tortured.
But he does feel
No, but
loneliness.
they could shoot Zach in the head and say,
Yeah,
shoot the rest of the head and you don't turn off the self-destruct.
So that was why he tried to kidnap the kid,
why
because
did
that
you
was my
think
next
Zach should
question.
go first?
Wow.
I'd like to say genuinely it's because I'm reading ahead in my notes and Zach is the next thing that happens in this episode.
What Alpha needs is a mock self-destruct sequence that does visually exactly what just happened, and then he can stand up and go.
I was
those at
expecting
home.
that to happen.
For those at home, Tim just gave the finger to the mic just to fill you in.
Alright, so Primator becomes Zach.
Yeah.
And Zach goes into the juice bar and says to Kimberley and Trini that Tommy's in the park fighting off some putties, but his powers are weakening, so they'd better go help him. He'll go find the others, but you guys go there now. It's a great plan.
That's pretty good.
But they react.
I mean, in fairness, what is he doing? He doesn't go like, "Oh, good, now I can
Send someone
blank."
else.
Like they're gonna just go and then come back.
Oh, wasn't he trying to isolate those two in particular? So
Yeah, I think the plan is that the putties will take them out. The fact that the
When
putties
did that
have
ever happen?
Yeah, sure, that's fair,
Yeah.
but you know,
It's like he came up with it
structure
after it. I found Kimberly and Trini, when they're told Tommy's being attacked and his powers are weakening, they reacted really slowly. Like, it was the slowest reaction to a crisis I've ever seen. They were actually really cut. I'm like, oh, that's
Look,
that's
this
terrible.
is like the 64th time they
Okay.
had to deal with a giant
Fair enough.
monster.
Okay,
Like,
fine.
you
That's the wear on
Your
you.
baseline just keeps moving up
Yeah,
and
fair
up.
enough, fair enough.
So Jason can't hear his communicator because he's doing science.
Do you have headphones on?
He
Yes,
does
all the boys have
All the
headphones.
boys
on.
have it.
But they're not like headphones, they're
earmuffs.
earmuffs. Like,
They should have a
worst
vibrate
option.
function in the watch.
I get the feeling
So
it would.
Like, it would be buzzing whilst he's...
In this
you could feel
half
it.
an hour, that's like you guys have to be really on the ball.
No, we're going to put our headphones on and do science locked in a basement.
Yeah.
Okay?
What science were they doing? Did anyone...
It was Billy's lab.
There were
Yeah, Billy does.
oscilloscopes. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Were they
really
trying to re-ionize the guy? I don't know.
it's Billy's lab. It could be anything from making a flying
car.
Volkswagen
Brain swap
to
machine.
brain swap machine. There's a lot of
I thought
possibilities.
they were doing Zordon's job. I
Yeah,
thought
I
they
thought
were
it was
looking for
related.
baddies.
What?
Zordon's job is to be like a selectively forgetful dickheaded dude. Like, his job's not hard. Like, oh, by the way, here's some sweet new powers you could have used for like a year.
Oh, there's a monster. I always knew that guy would come.
Like, he should be using the time in between monsters just to fill them in on all the
Yeah,
potential,
all the info he
like
clearly
training
has.
them. Like,
I've got a really big fear of something coming to pass. Here's what it is, so you can have some preparation for it.
yeah, this is his weak spot. Like Reflectorilla, mirrors. Like, always have mirrors on you. Thanks for that.
Trini and Kimberley, putty fight.
Yep.
Set to the slow, mournful piano intro of fight.
Yeah.
It's
After we've heard Alpha's gonna explode, like it's a real
really
dark.
bleak,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Absolutely.
And then just as it kicks into fight, it stops.
Yeah. It definitely cuts out right when you wanted to keep going.
It almost feels like they started the track at the wrong point.
Yeah.
But
Just couldn't
It's a
be bothered
pretty-
fixing it.
it's a pretty normal fight.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just going to skip back a bit before when Zach tells like Trini and Kimberly that and then they get up and go. They were sitting at the bar drinking milkshakes out of their respectfully coloured cups, pink and yellow. Zach picks up Trini's cup, drinks it. Well, not Zach Reflectorilla. Picks up Trini's cup, drinks it, and then goes, banana.
We didn't hit any of the 8 puns at all.
Just
they
Because
produced
the
all
reason why
new-
you didn't hear that was because right before Jeremy's like just gone, it's going to be banana.
he called it.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
of
does that
course,
mean-
like each of the Power Rangers, like we've got a yellow ranger, so obviously banana milkshake. Pink Ranger, obviously strawberry. Black Ranger, obviously chocolate.
Yeah.
Red Ranger, you can have
Raspberry.
some raspberry or
Yeah.
cherry. You can like make this a thing.
Blueberry, I
Blue
guess.
raspberry. Blue raspberry was pretty
What
big.
about green?
Our one
Mint.
featured
Green one's just one of those.
Yeah,
amazing
well.
mix.
Ah, dude, that's true. There's a milkshake connection in both of the episodes.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Ours was
far more
a
forward.
little further than theirs.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, no Vulcan Skull getting things
There's
splashed
a
on their
single
face.
shot of
recently.
Vulcan Skull.
No, but no
Yeah.
splashing on their face.
No.
No, it's just
Are they even in it?
they
Yeah,
are. You see
shot
Alpha
when
land.
teleports down.
Oh, of course.
And they
part
were
of
looking for the Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Part
So
of the
they had gear.
reason for that is that
wearing a sick
Primate
jacket.
is Bog's actor.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So he's doing another job this week.
Wow.
There you go.
Wait, you mean
So
in the
they
suit?
don't want to pay him.
Pardon?
In the suit, you mean?
No, in the voice.
Voice.
Here's doing your job, basically.
Dude, some pretty good monkey noises,
Oh,
but
yeah.
not as good as Tim's.
No.
Well,
no.
I mean, yeah, look.
But they're pretty on par. Like the monkey chimp noises.
He's
Similar.
developed though. Like I feel like Tim's were like strong from the beginning.
Yeah.
He's got stronger as he went on.
Warming up to it.
Yeah.
So the Rangers figure out that something's going on pretty quickly. There's not a lot to that, really. Dylan says to Alpha, "Alpha, you're getting better." Alpha says, "I don't think so, Dylan. 10 minutes to self-destruct."
Super heavy scene.
Yeah. But that's okay, because Zordon's re-ionized.
Yeah, that happened.
Why doesn't he tell Dylan to go away? Like, is he going to self-destruct and explode this small?
It's unclear what the self-destruct will actually
Yeah,
do.
true point. Yeah.
You've got to assume that it's just like an internal self-destruct.
I hope so.
If anything, that's kind of worse because he's got this kid here. He's going to see Alpha in mid-sentence just go like that, and then
And die in Dylan's arms.
oh, that's rough. So either way, Dylan should not be there for that. I think.
Dylan needs to leave,
Yeah, he needs to like ask Dylan to go get help under the pretense of getting him away so he doesn't win.
Although Dylan is also a lost child.
So Zordon tells the Rangers that Alpha's in the arms of a little boy named Dylan, who he tried to rescue. But, you know, they've got to fight the Primitor first.
Which again, they split up the Rangers before. It's not like they can't be like, Billy, go help Alpha. The
It'll
rest
take
of
you
you,
3 seconds.
yeah.
Like,
Clearly,
deal with that.
You just have to molest his chest for a few seconds. then
nipple
we'll do
tweak. That was the sequence.
So we get, let's get this bogus baboon.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah.
I'll pay that.
We thought we scraped the barrel, but they had more.
They did.
They definitely had new ones.
But they use baboon a lot. I felt like
There
you
are
guys
a couple of
there's
them.
Well,
baboons.
he is clearly like a baboon model.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
There was some butt scratching going on.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot to talk about in this fight scene because we've kind of already covered it in recording it. It's stylistically very similar to what we had, I think.
A few just lazy bits. Like there's that bit where it pans across all the rangers.
Yep.
And they all have kind of lines, and then Billy goes, Blue Ranger power!
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah,
Like,
it goes
unless
like
the
blue,
rest of them
pink,
say...
yellow. No, the three of them did. Like the first two
Oh,
actually
no,
say
no,
something.
But it had to lead up to the two yellow rangers saying the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
guess.
yeah, I'm a bit
Yeah, I just...
lazy.
But like,
Lazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, very similar. There's one interesting cut that's different to ours, which is in the original footage, which we know because we've seen it, when the two Red Rangers fight, they swap and the real Red Ranger is left alone and the fake one attacks them. That scene is cut out of this. And it's implied that when he says, that's not me, he's tricking them and then he shoots them with his head laser.
Yeah.
It's, I guess, just for time.
Probably. That would be my guess. Yeah.
There was one bit that made sort of more sense, I think, than your episode. Where, like,
Ouch.
No, we can take
I
it.
think it was like it was the same idea as yours, but there's like
Sure.
you had that line in it where the Red Ranger says, like, both of you attack me,
Yes.
and I'll be able to like distinguish between your styles. And
Yes,
Yeah.
and like
I
I think
agree.
that's
That was
what you
good.
like. That's
Yeah.
like what you meant, but
Yes.
they like said it explicitly.
Yeah.
I was thinking that this was the moment. They had one moment where they could have made canonically the fact that there's a male in the Yellow Ranger's suit. They could have just like had one Yellow Ranger with a male in the suit and one Yellow Ranger with a female in the suit, and then they just keep the Yellow Ranger with the female in the suit.
I think the issue is that the Yellow Ranger is like a dude in Japan.
Oh, that's
so
right.
in all of the Japanese footage,
He has to be a dude.
he has to be a dude.
It is surprising to me that when they were just shooting the footage for the Americans, they didn't get a lady in to play that part.
I mean, I guess it's like for continuity.
Yeah,
Like
the
anyone
I think
else,
they considered a thing like that.
you have to make a new suit that costs money.
Yeah. Yeah, fair call.
Oh, there's this great film called BMX Bandits that features Nicole Kidman as a child.
Yes.
And her stunt double is just a man. It's just every time there's a shot of Nicole Kidman's character like riding away on a bicycle, it's just obviously like a 30-something-year-old.
See, I know that Nicole Kidman in that film has like big, bushy red
Well, he's
hair.
obviously like wearing a wig.
In my head, it's like a bald white guy. It's just like, I'm Nicole Kidman, guys, bandits, yeah! I will put a link to that in the show notes. Anything, guys.
No one needs to see BMX Bandits.
I think everyone needs to see BMX Bandits. Or the Mexican remake, BMX Bandito.
Alright, so that scene, pretty close to what we wrote
Yeah,
in the
good.
end. They teleport away for the same reason they feel overcome.
Yep.
They teleport back to the command center, where we get their justification for the mirror business,
Yep.
which might make slightly more like science sense, but definitely sort of ranks very low in the not pulling it out of your ass department.
Yeah, so earlier, Primator had seen his reflection in Alpha's head, despite Alpha's head not ever being reflective.
Yeah.
And when he saw his own reflection, he had to change back into his real form.
Maybe
For,
he's just schizophrenic.
for whatever reason, right? So if they make him look at a reflection of himself, he'll have to change back and they'll be able to tell. Sure, I guess.
Yeah.
Makes more sense than a neutron dense mirror.
Again, I think it's one of those things where there was just no effort put into linking like the A and the B story, where the A story is the monster stuff,
Sure,
the B
yeah.
story is the human stuff. And then we get the bit where Kimberley pulls the Triceratops mirror out of her socks.
They say, does
Yeah,
anyone have
so
a
close
mirror?
to out of her ass.
Yeah.
Like you.
And Kimberly's like, of course I have a mirror.
I imagine-
I'm a 16-year-old girl.
But also
Yeah,
the fact
that's-
it's clearly
Yeah,
Billy's
that
mirror.
that
Like, it's-
logic is fine, and then it comes out and it's blue with.
is it
Billy's
like
Triceratops.
is it a gift he gave to
Again.
her? Like we're now maybe potentially shipping them? Are they like secret lovers?
I think
don't
that was
know.
lazy.
It's
Like,
kind of a
Oh,
self-important
so
gift to
lazy.
someone.
I feel that Kimberly's probably the best beard in history. That she's just like they've had this conversation. Like Billy's like pulled out his mirror, and Kimberly's like, no. And she's like, she puts it under the desk, and she's like, oh, I've got my mirror. And all the other guys are looking at it like, oh, Billy.
Literally all of us know. Yeah.
It's okay. You could just say it. Okay.
That's
a good call.
That's my favourite new canon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Your Zord is a unicorn.
Who are you for? Who are you
Even
for?
Zordon knows. Although, to be fair, he does have a magic viewing globe, so he's seen what you get up to on Saturday nights, okay? Oh dear. Okay.
So you can't ship Billy and Trini anymore.
No, I can't, apparently. So they take the mirror back into the fight, and we get something, again, very similar to what we wrote.
I like this bit where wounded fake Tommy goes like, he's too strong, why don't we just give up?
Yeah.
And Jason kicks him in the face.
Tommy, never give up.
Never give up.
Pretty good.
Which, you know, is a reasonable thing to say.
Yeah.
But if it were the real Tommy, who's been like, no, he kicked my ass, I'm just saying, like, my powers are weak, can I get out of
He's
here?
too strong. No! Kick him in the head!
They need like a password, like in Misfits. Monkey slut.
Any kind of solution would probably have been better than what we got.
You're just kicking someone in the face.
Really?
Yeah, we have a password. In case
Wait, what's the password for? In case a giant monkey replaces your sister?
Yeah. Well, shapeshifters, aliens, you know, that sort of thing.
Shapeshifters, apeshifters.
Yeah.
I used to have to send home a password to my mum to prove that I wasn't a rapist sending a text saying I'm fine, I'll be home tomorrow.
I've worried about that before. That's not.
Yeah,
that's
so
not
I would actually have
unreasonable.
to have a word, a secret code word with my
That's a
mother.
really good idea.
Yeah.
Is it a different word every day?
No, we have to.
So could the guy look back through your old texts and just go...
Possibly.
The code is something like you say something just about like fruit or something, like in a random sentence.
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to get my sister to teach my niece for when gets picked up from school and stuff.
I've been orange kidnapped.
Shit! Something's wrong. They used the code word, but I don't know what could have happened.
No, literally, she was kidnapped by a giant orange.
Oh, she lives in Angel Grove. Right. Oh, Orange Jaw. Yeah, no, we know about that.
This was the perfect moment for them to actually have some decent backstory between the Rangers and be like just zero in on like one of the Rangers' masks and just be like, remember Billy? That time in first grade when like I skinned my knee and remember what you told me? Like
always have a password in case a monkey tries to replace your friend. It was weird at the time, but now it's very useful advice.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for like tell me something only Trini would know.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, there was.
But their reaction is just, let's just fight! Yeah!
I will be able to know from your fighting style. Oh, right, sure.
I like the idea that Jason keeps his attitude for the rest of his life, and they're fighting another monster later, and Billy's like, oh man, that was tough, and then Jason just like, oh, it's Primate talk back!
He would never give up!
Like one of his kids says, Dad, that was hard, I don't want to do it anymore. It's like, just like,
No, son of mine would give up! I also like the thought that Jason knows everyone best through their martial arts style.
Yeah.
Like, that's where his intimate knowledge is.
and their willingness to give up.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of his job as the leader.
Yeah. Alright, so they do the fight. No Power Blaster.
Nope.
Which I think was just our creation to put in that scene.
Yep.
So, fair enough.
Yep.
Lord Zed makes it grow.
Yep.
Grows. We get one kind of drastic difference between ours and theirs. They give Tommy the Dragon Zord.
Yeah, which, like, I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, that kind of makes
It's
sense.
a valid choice.
Yep.
They have to cut around some of the other footage more.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that they get the Dragon Zord.
Despite that addition, it's still a very short scene, so they
Yes.
still clearly struggled as much as we did with
I
it.
think while we're still on this Zayu 2 footage for the next 5 or 10 episodes or so, it'll be like that just because...
I mean, it's probably fair to say that the Dragon Sword becomes an inclusion that gives you, like, 20, 30 extra seconds.
Yeah.
When you can't show half your footage, like...
Yeah.
And there is a shot in there that does have the original Megazord, but it's obscured by enough smoke that you just
You don't really
can't
it's
see
fine.
it. It's a pretty good editing job, all things considered.
Yeah. And it's just a bummer overall that it's just the case, because The Thunder Megazord is really cool.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that impression though when you can't have a proper
can't
fight
have a
scene.
fight,
You
Yeah.
don't. It's
All
only
the
ever.
shots of them separately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
The first time he punches a monster is going to be good.
yeah. Absolutely.
Alright, so it's 15 seconds until Alpha 5 self-destructs. So we've cut that a little late. I don't know that, like, everyone was needed. Maybe someone could have gone down and stopped that.
No, what it should have been is Tommy kicked him in the fucking head and said, "We don't give up! We don't self-destruct!"
And he would have been fine.
So Billy just kind of boop, 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 self-destruct over.
You think that
No, it was
Alpha
quite
could talk
intimate.
Dylan through that? That's a great point.
Yeah, but if he misses, it's like bomb disposal.
How does it know? Because he's a prototype. Right?
Is that how that works?
Really?
I thought that's what the
But how did Billy
is that,
know?
like, he doesn't.
Like,
oh,
you would
that's
think
true.
Alpha would have told Billy at some point. He could have just, like, talked Dylan through it.
Many things about Alpha 5 are curious and unexplained. Let's just leave it at that. So the kid is really excited to see the Power Rangers.
But yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
And he says to them, "Can you save my friend? He's a little hammy, but he's also
But
sick."
hey, what did you do today? You met a real robot, and then the Power Rangers showed up.
There was also
good day.
Also, one of the kids who I see around at the youth centre all the time turned into a giant monkey. Can he just do that all the time, or he tried to kidnap me? It was weird. Anyway, so the kid says, "Bye, Rangers. Bye, Alpha. I will always remember you."
Which
Oh,
of course he
his
will.
mum showed up.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
his mum
yeah.
showed up. And
Yeah, his mum shows up and is like, "Where have you been?"
Yeah, like
I'm sure everyone in the room went, "Where have you been?"
and also, like she doesn't say anything about Power Rangers or a robot.
Yeah.
Maybe she can't see them.
Maybe it's imaginary.
No, doesn't she?
Maybe all of
Oh,
these
maybe
is
she does say that.
imaginary.
Power Rangers. Fair enough.
Okay,
Okay.
maybe she can see them.
I feel like 6-year-olds don't understand the concept of like remembering something from like ever.
If I met the Power Rangers, I feel like I'd remember that for a while.
But
What do you
forever?
mean if? You did.
I didn't meet the Power Rangers. Oh, I did meet 2 Power Rangers.
Oh,
But I
only
mean,
clearly
if I
you
met-
didn't remember
I mean,
it.
if I met the actual Power...
At 6.
Well, you did.
I think you know what I mean.
That's it, really. That's the
Yeah,
episode.
Alpha gets told that, I know you meant well, but a true hero knows the meaning of responsibility.
Houses.
Alpha's such a.
Know your place.
Zordon is just such a dick.
Yeah, it is. It is rough to Alpha.
Yeah.
A robot's place is in the home.
Like Alpha meant to do the right thing, and in the end was willing to blow himself up to
Yeah.
not give away access to the command center.
Yeah.
Maybe let's not make jokes about giving him detention.
To be fair, if he just said, "Hey Billy, can you come watch the command center for 10 minutes?"
Yeah.
Or Billy,
Or-
there's a lost kid.
I'll make a phone call to the dedicated 5-man action squad thing when something goes wrong. I don't know.
Or like the police.
Hello, child services.
Yeah.
But then he's like, someone makes a joke about him being grounded for
Yeah.
thousands of years, and he's like, "Now I'll never learn how to play soccer." And it's like, oh god, so sad. And they're all like,
Because
"Oh,
it's true.
funny."
He doesn't have any friends.
It's just a
Tragic.
robot, guys.
Something Billy would say.
So that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
What did we think? Yeah,
It
nay.
was terrible in comparison.
Chip
to ours.
Chaser is better. Yeah.
Chip Chaser. But it just shows, like, from the initial thing of just the footage, how far you can take it in totally different
there's
directions.
so many different
It's so
options.
How long did it take you guys to come up with like the concept for the episode?
We just sketched out the concept in an afternoon.
Yeah.
The finer details of the dialogue and stuff took us longer.
We struggled with some of the Bulk and Skull stuff for a bit as well.
And if you worked as hard as they worked, you could have got it out in a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Definitely.
I was thinking like you guys came up with something really good, but like having to do that every single week.
Oh, it would be exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't envy them.
Actually,
But you guys had you had everything. You had Bulk and Skull, good story. Had like Ed
Disgusting
Ernie,
homoerotic milkshake.
Exactly.
What really confuses me, though, is just that lack of a follow-through story in so much of the plot. Like, we used, me in particular, went to Dan Harmon's method of, like, the story circle. But that's one iteration of 1,000 different expressions of that. Every book for writers in the world will teach you general story structure. It blows my mind that we so rarely see that sort of follow-through.
Things
Like,
getting reused and stuff like
or
that.
even just like a character goes through an experience, that experience teaches them something they need to resolve the challenge or the
in 10
confrontation.
minutes time.
Yeah. It's like, that is basic basic storytelling, and it's so often just missed completely.
Yeah, and it's confused where that is. So is it alpha in this case? Well, sort of, maybe or maybe not.
Yeah, like, none of them seem to learn anything really.
I mean, I guess on one level, you're writing a TV show that's meant to be episodic, and also they're like 7 to 9. The kids don't really give a shit. Like, I know that's a lazy cop out.
It is,
but it's like you could have that attitude and go, that's just how it is.
Yeah, and I think a kid would remember, the basketball flipping, and that would be the coolest part of it. And then the stuff in between is just noise.
We can't have the Power Rangers learning too much every episode, otherwise they'll get too smart and then they'll just
they'll just storm the moon.
Yeah.
Just figure out that there's 5 of us.
Shut it
and
down.
really only one of them who's any
Wouldn't
good.
that be awesome? Just to see them be like,
kick down the
"Screw
door."
this," just like teleport to the moon and just take it to Zord's. Just like go nuts.
stab him in the brain.
That's all it took.
Now that's a great story.
So I think
callback.
that's the episode we have to write next. All right.
It'll end like the end of Wind Waker with Jason getting the power sword and just straight down into Lord's head.
Wow.
I like to think that there's no blood; it's just sludge.
All right. So now we've got something to do. Where would you rank Primator on the creature feature?
Not super high. Like, it's an interesting gimmick, but again, it's one of those things where he never really goes anywhere with it. I guess.
Sure.
So I would say probably top half somewhere.
All right. Is he better than Polludicorn? No.
Wow.
Oh,
Polludicorn was the pollution unicorn, man.
okay, your boy Pluticon.
Above Hatchosaurus?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Above Mutitus?
Who's Mutitus? I can't remember.
Mutitus is on Island of Illusion. It's a horrible, sludgy, disgusting monster.
Something happened on Island of Illusion that wasn't just Quasimodo.
Quagmire.
Quagmire, sorry.
I think he goes probably... just below Babe Ruthless, because you can't beat Babe Ruthless.
Babe Ruthless.
That's
wow.
true.
The baseball monster. Like, that is just a cool gimmick.
All right.
Like, the whole shape-shifting thing, interesting, but it crops up in every show you see. You don't see a baseball monster every show you watch.
That's certainly true.
There's
And
a
I-
reason for that.
So was he a shapeshifter because he was originally a costume?
Maybe.
I was trying to figure
that's
that out.
so much more thought.
That's
than
an interesting
anyone-
level of thought
That's
that no one
even
else
more
put
thought
in.
than
Yeah.
we put into it.
I asked you before where you would put your version of Monster on the list.
I mean, I would by default put him at number 1 because he was the best.
I don't know that I would. I'm not sure that I would put him above the turtle thing.
The turtle thing.
Oh,
Shell
Shell
Shock.
Shock.
Yeah, Shell Shock. He was the coolest monster. Like, but we had to work with the footage we have. We can't make anything cooler than Shell Shock without Shell Shock.
That's right. I wish we had gotten that episode.
Yeah, that would have
That
been
would have
cool.
been great. So, we're just about to wrap up, but Matt, it was your birthday a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
So for the second year in a row, I want to exploit your birthday for podcast material.
All right.
Oh, wow.
True friendship.
I didn't know this was happening. I hate being put
So,
on the
Matt,
spot.
this is your birthday present.
It's huge. What is this?
Hold on, that weighs up. And the side with the tape on it is the top. So stop
So
turning
put it down.
over.
Put it down right in front of you right now. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Alright, so it's a big brown paper package.
For you at home.
It's, I don't know size, but it's pretty big. Open it up right now.
Starting by 50
What?
centimeters.
Oh, wow.
Holy crap.
Oh, that's amazing.
What?
Now I know why you had to go to IKEA.
Personalised.
So that is a very cool framed print of the Power Rangers. It says Ranger Danger Podcast on it.
Is that
And it is.
Yeah.
It says to Matt, and it's signed by Austin St. John and Walter Jones. And
That's
also helpfully
amazing.
says Zach and Jason, just in case I didn't know. That's really amazing.
So I would like to thank Ranger Danger, fan of the show and guest host Ash, for drawing this for us. I've got one as well.
That is incredible.
She's incredibly talented. So,
Yeah.
it's just been Christmas. You may have gotten money for Christmas. If you would like one of these, if you go to rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop, that'll redirect you to our Society 6 page, where you can buy a copy of this print. I don't know what else it'll go up as. It'll definitely go up as a laptop skin because I'm getting one for my laptop. But we'll see if we can do phone cases and, I don't know, whatever they can do, we're going to
Cases would be
do.
awesome.
if you buy stuff from there, we will make a little bit of money. That would be nice.
And it's almost certainly going to go straight back into the podcast with a recording.
It absolutely is. I'm going out in a couple of weeks and buying some new mics and getting some new gear. We're also splitting the money 50-50 with Ash, who drew it.
Absolutely.
So if you want to support a great young artist, it's a great opportunity to do that. We'll put a photo up on the Facebook and in the show notes if you want to see it. But it is super rad. And
It's
I'm
gorgeous.
super
It
happy
really
with
is.
it.
Muscles.
So good.
It's genuinely incredible.
She's
so,
really talented.
And kudos to you, Michael. Our logo looks really cool on
Yeah.
TikTok.
so that's rangerdangerpodcast.com/shop. Matt, where else can they find us?
We have a website, which is www.rangerdangerpodcast.com, where you can see stuff like that and our Ranger Danger creature feature, which is our monster list. You can send us an email at rangerdangerpodcast@gmail.com. We're at RangerDcast on Twitter.
Yep.
We're also on Facebook and iTunes and Google Plus and Stitcher. YouTube. So find us there, find us wherever you want, and get in touch with us because we love hearing from you.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
And thank
Yay.
you for listening again.
Another great year.
2015.
Yep.
We're going to do some dino charging.
Here we are.
Charging some dinos. We're going to keep going on the Mighty Morphin. There's some big Mighty Morphin milestones this year. Appearance of Matt's favourite ranger ever.
Yep.
That'll happen.
The White Ranger.
Oh yeah, we'll get to some new Zords again this year.
Yep.
Do you have a New Year's resolution for the podcast?
Just keep being awesome.
We keep saying video content and we never get there, so...
Yeah, there'll be some cool special episodes. We've got some ideas. It's the 20th anniversary of the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger movie in June.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing something for that. And in fact, we'll get to the movie Christmas next year.
Yep.
So that's coming up. You've got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exciting times
2015.
And thanks for sticking with us, everyone.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thank you all of you guys for coming and recording our thing and for being here.
So
Say bye
next
to all
year,
the people.
you're going to definitely hire real actors. So.
I don't know that we could get better actors than these guys. I mean, just because we can't afford better actors. You guys did it for free and for donuts, so that's not a bad deal. All right, that's been us.
We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah!